What is an artifact in Risk of Rain 2? An artifact in Risk of Rain 2 is an in-game modifier. You can use them to make your game harder or to make them wacky, but usually it's harder. It switches up the game a bit to make it fresher. To get the artifacts, you must find an artifact code, which is can be found around the stages on a stone tablet that has a 3x3 table. But sometimes it's around in the edges of the maps. To get an artifact, you must remember the code at the Sky Meadows, stage 5. Go under the map. There'll be a big hole that leads you down there. Then you must get your way to a platform. The platform will have a weird teleporter looking thing, a laptop, and a small 3x3 selection area. Once then, you interact with the selection area to get all the codes, all the shapes into the right part of the code. Once you activate it, you'll start opening a portal. Once you open the portal, you'll enter the Bulwark Armory, where the artifact will now be active. And once you enter the Bulwark Armory, there will be an artifact keys you must collect to defeat a boss. Enemies will spawn and will drop artifact keys. There usually are chests, unless you have an artifact, unless the artifact you chose is the one that makes the enemies drop the items. Once you get an artifact key, you must interact with the boss and put it in. Once you put enough artifact keys to kill the boss, you kill the boss and the portal will open. Once you enter the portal, you will get the artifact. Once you get the artifact, you will loop. And then you can do this again and again and again if you want to just do that. But you probably won't. Now, there are 19 artifacts in the game, minus 1 because I don't cover any of the DLC, so 18 I'll be covering today. Now, this section will have spoilers for all the artifacts, and I'll put up the codes too and what they do. So if you don't want to get spoiler, that now is the time to leave. First of all, we have the artifact of command. When the item drops, you can select what item you want, but it is an item you have to have unlocked. Great if you want to do like a specific item run without having to base your game off luck. Then there's the artifact of honor. All enemies are elites. Pretty self-explanatory. Artifact of death. When one player dies, you all die. It's great for group challenges, and if you guys are all good. If you're not, then well, everyone dies. This artifact of chaos. Friendly fire is enabled. That's it for you and enemies. Artifact of delusion. You get a pop quiz when you end a stage, where you must remember every item you have. So if you got a great memory game and you want to play that while Risk of Rain 2, go for it. Artifact of devotion. Sorry. There are Lemurian eggs instead of drones, which the Lemurians get your items once you get the Lemurian egg. Artifact of dissonance. Monsters appear in other maps that they usually don't. Artifact of enigma. Our equipment changes every time you use it. So if you had like strike drones in once, next thing you might get a hunter's tricorn. Artifact of evolution. Monsters gain items between stages. Artifact of fatality. Fall damage is doubled and lethal. As if you didn't know, when you take fall damage, you can't die. You'll be like left on low HP, but you won't die from it. But with this artifact enabled, you will die from fall damage. And you get double the fall damage, which makes it even harder not to die to it. Artifact of glass. 500% damage, but 10% HP. It's like you got 5 shaped glasses, but they only took like only 90% of the HP instead of even more. Artifact of kin. Monsters are only one type per stage. I think so they're all one elite type. That or is it just like all Gups, Lemurians, or that. I'll put in post once I figure it out. Artifact of metamorphosis. You change survivors every time you beat a stage. You could be Commando one time and you could be Captain next. Artifact of sacrifice. Monsters drop items. This pretty self-explanatory. This was when I was talking about the Bulwark Armory, I said usually there's chests unless you have this artifact you're getting. Artifact of soul. Wisps spawn when you kill enemies. Just makes your game harder if you want to. Artifact of Spike. Enemies drop bombs when they die. I say chill, but okay, if they want to blow themselves up, they can. Artifact of Swarms. Double the enemies by half the health. So you get more enemies, but they have half the health. Great if you want to get like paired with Artifact of Sacrifice, so you can get more monster drops. But enemies such as Lemurians and Beetles can start getting like out of hand. Artifact of Vengeance. You get chased down by yourself every 10 minutes. If you ever played like the Hunk mods, basically like that, but with Nemesis, but you just kill him. Anyway, this is all the artifacts in Risk of Rain 2. If you want to tell me any... Thank you for watching till the end. If you have any video ideas, you can comment them down below. Hopefully you enjoyed, and have a good day.